How did I cycle the tank? Let's get into it. Hey yo everyone, welcome back to another video by Nano Reef. So today I'll be giving an update on the Nuvo 14 Peninsula tank. First off, just a quick overview. The term cycling in general refers to the ammonia, nitrite and nitrate cycle, where a new tank has sufficient bacteria to break down the waste to nitrate and eventually to less harmful nitrite. For this tank I used bacteria from a couple of different sources. I also added some Dr. Team ammonia chloride to give the bacteria the food required to populate and start the cycle. Honestly, you do not need to have bacteria from multiple sources, and you can surely have a successful tank with just one bacteria source. But for me, I'm a little impatient, so I decided to use 3 main sources of bacteria. The Karachi Ocean Direct sand is said to have live beneficial bacteria from the ocean that is preserved in the bag so that when it is being used, you get the benefits of the bacteria locked into the sand. If all this is true, I think there are so many benefits to your aquarium. There are many forms of microbiome that goes beyond the nitrogen cycle, and it is important for the upkeep of the tank. Many of these bacteria are not testable by the hobby grade test kit but are essential to the tank. So I'm hoping that with the Ocean Direct sand, that the sand will contain some of these necessary bacteria that is needed for the tank's well-being. Of course, there's no way for me to validate that, and I'm just using the sand in hope that what I cannot see is actually in the tank. I had also seeded some Aquaforest Live biofuel in another tank with bacteria and transferred that to this tank. I was thinking of using some live rock from another tank, but decided against that because I wanted to have a particular rockscape, and none of the live rocks in my tank fit the look that I was going for. To seed new media is quite simple. You just need to place that media in the sum of an already established tank for a couple of months, and the media will naturally be seeded. Microbacter 7 was also a source of bacteria. As mentioned, I had already used Microbacter 7 with great success on my other tanks, and I wanted to stick to it again. So I added some of it to this tank, and how Microbacter 7 works is that it actually contains 7 different forms of bacteria that helps to kickstart the cycle of the tank. I also decided to use this because I had some leftover from a previous tank build, so I didn't want to go out to get another bacteria solution. Using a bacterial product is one of the most common ways to cycle a tank, probably also because it is one of the easiest ways to do so. In my honest opinion, if I could only choose one method of starting a cycle in the tank, using a bacterial product is probably the best way to do it, just because of the ease and the simplicity of it. By the way, it would be super helpful if you could hit the like button as well as the subscribe button. It'll go a long way in helping my channel. Currently, the tank has finished cycling, and there are 2 ways that I generally use to tell whether the tank is cycled. The best way is through testing the water, and the 3 key elements to test is ammonia, nitrite and nitrate. This is the best way to track the cycle of the tank. You should be able to see a drop in the ammonia and nitrite, followed by an increase in the nitrate level. I did the same to identify whether my tank has finished cycling. As you can see, the ammonia is at 0, or it is very low. As for the nitrite, it is also at 0 ppm, or it is really low, which is also a good sign. And for the nitrate, it is around 3 to 5 ppm. I'm not too sure if the camera is picking up the colors correctly, but you have to just trust me that it's about 3 to 5 ppm. And that means that the ammonia chloride that I've added to the tank has been converted to nitrite and now nitrate. Usually when ammonia and nitrite hit 0 and the nitrates levels are registerable or they are spiking, I believe that the cycle is completed. But for me, that's usually not enough. I do a second step to make sure that the cycling process is completed. And I do so by looking at the tank. In most cases, what I've noticed is that when the tank has completely cycled, you see some form of algae or diatoms on the sand bed and the rocks. Additionally, the water will change from being cloudy to close to crystal clear. Of course, there are always exceptions to this, but in general, these are the signs that the cycle is completed. I usually will look for these signs to confirm that the tank has been cycled. As you can see on my sand bed, there are some diatoms, which is a good sign. And I do believe that the tank is cycled. If you were to ask me, I do believe my tank is cycled and is ready for some cleanup crew or some fishes. However, I don't plan on adding anything to the tank right now, and I'll probably just wait another week or two just to let the tank stabilize even more before I add any livestock. There's no harm in waiting, but there is definitely harm in rushing to add in livestock. In the next video, I'll probably be adding a fish or some cleanup crew into the tank, so stay tuned for that. As always, I will keep you guys updated on the status of the tank next week. And with that, I think I will end my video right here. Thank you for watching, stay safe, love your tank, till next time, see ya!